you a hopeful home buyer here in the Bellingham area who put your home search on pause over the course of last year due to either high interest rates or high home prices? Well, as you may have noticed, prices did not come down, but rates are starting to come down. In this video, we're going to talk about what impact that's going to have on the market and help you understand if now is the right time for you to move forward in finding your home. And we're going to get started right now. Hey, if this is your first time on the channel, we encourage you to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you can keep up on all the content that we're releasing about Bellingham, about Whatcom County, and all the great things that are going on here in this area. My name is Jeff Engen. I'm with MJB Real Estate Group, and every day we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you who are considering a move to this area, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're thinking about moving tomorrow, 10 months from now, or sometime in between, we encourage you to reach out. All of our contact information can be found below, and we are standing by and ready to help you in any way that we can. But for now, let's talk about this warning to prospective home buyers as we head into 2024. All right, so first things first, let's talk a little bit about what happened in 2023 and why home prices did not come down despite these high interest rates. Well, as you may remember from your high school or perhaps college economics classes, there's the basic economic principle of supply and demand. And we know that when demand is high and supply is low, prices typically go up, or in this case, more or less stayed the same. What has happened as a result of these very low interest rates that we saw back in 2021, people locking into and refinancing their mortgages at a 2.75%, 3%, 3.25% interest rate, is that a lot of home owners are reluctant to put their homes on the market because they don't want to trade the current rate that they have for the interest rates that we've seen over the course of the last year. The result of that is very little inventory on the market and very few homes going on the market. With that in mind, there are still a large number of people, whether it's for relocation for employment or otherwise, who are actively buying homes still in this market. And because of the limited inventory and the relatively high demand compared to that inventory, we've seen prices stay stable. So a lot of people over the course of 2022, let's say June of 22, when rates hit 6% and forward, a lot of people said, it's time for us to pause our home search. Rates have gotten too high. Our affordability has gone down. We're going to sit this out. But that did not impact the market the way that many people thought it would. Prices have not gone down. In fact, if you head over to Redfin to verify for yourself, you'll see that the median sales price in Bellingham of all home types is $625,000, which is actually 3.3% higher than it was last year. So if you were waiting for home prices to come down, unfortunately, they did not. However, I do bring good news in this video, and that is that interest rates are coming down and coming down somewhat dramatically. Interest rates have been reduced faster than any time that we've seen since the 2008 housing crisis, in which rates came down quickly and dramatically as well. But I went back to reference one of the updates that I get from one of my lenders on a regular basis. October 10th, 2023, a 30-year fixed mortgage for a well-qualified borrower, that would be someone with 20% down on a conventional loan purchase and a credit score in the mid to upper 700s. That interest rate back on October 10th was 7.75%. Now, if we fast forward to November 21st, that same rate for that same buyer was around 7.125%. And if we fast forward to December 12th, that rate came all the way down to 6.875%. Now, just a few days ago, today is December 22nd, as of the last update that I received, December 19th, rates had come all the way down to 6.375. Now, this is still quite a bit higher than when rates were in the 2s, the 3s, the 4s, what have you, but it's a dramatic reduction from the nearly 8% that they were not all that long ago. What does this look like for a home buyer? Well, if you took a $500,000 purchase of a home here in the area at a 20% down payment, and you qualified for that 6.375 interest rate, your monthly mortgage payment would be approximately $2,900. If we rewind back to October, when the rates were 7.75, that very same purchase, that very same scenario, your monthly mortgage would be $3,270 per month. So that is a $370 per month or $4,400 per year savings just between October 10th and December 19th. And there's more good news. That is that the Fed is suggesting that rates are going to continue to be brought down over the course of 2024, and by the sounds of it, somewhat dramatically. In another video I recently did, I referenced an article in Business Insider in which the Fed had reported favorably with regards to inflationary data, and they felt very comfortable not only pausing the rate increases, but actually putting the car in reverse and moving rates backwards. So what's going to happen as rates come down? Well, that's a very good question, and one that, well, I have no crystal ball. I can't make any guarantees or promises. This is what I think is going to happen over the course of the coming months. Home buyers are able to enter the market at a moment's notice. If they got pre-approved a year ago, 6 months ago, they may need to refresh their pre-approval with their lender, but that's a simple phone call or email, and they're right back in the market shopping tomorrow for a home, versus home sellers likely need some more time to be able to get their home on the market. So what's going to happen as rates continue to fall? Well, my prediction is that more and more buyers will enter the market, and there will be more and more competition with this low inventory that is currently on the market. And the results of that, again, as we've already touched on, is that when demand is high and supply is low, that prices tend to go up. Now, if we go back to the 2020, 2021 housing market, most of what buyers were seeing at that point in time was a market where they were required to waive their financial contingency, waive their inspection contingency, write escalations on offers. And we'll get into some of the numbers here momentarily as to compare and contrast if you bought today at the current rates versus if you wait to buy at prospective future rates, but at the same time prices go up. But a lot of people were accustomed to having to waive their contingencies in order to get a home. And they were also accustomed to having to significantly overpay beyond the list price to get the home. We could find ourselves back in that same situation as buyers flood back into the market and inventory remains relatively low. Now, come spring, summer, I do think that sellers are going to be more motivated to put their homes on the market, and we are likely to see a little bit more balance in terms of supply and demand. But I do think that demand will continue to outpace supply for some time to come. So the warning for you, the caution for you is that if you're a home buyer and you're ready to get yourself into your new home here in Bellingham, Whatcom County, or anywhere else for that matter, now is the time for you to be seriously considering buying your home. We're in what I'm going to refer to as a bit of a transition market. So rates have come down, but it's the holiday season and the market is still very quiet. As we pivot into the new year and people transition their focus from the holiday season back to day-to-day life, I anticipate that the market is going to accelerate quite quickly. At present, if you're a home buyer, you're in a good position to get seller concessions. You're in a good position to get a home at or below list price. You're in a good position to retain your inspection contingency and ask for repairs or updates. You're in a good position to retain your financial contingency, have that home appraisal conducted to make sure the value is there in the home from a third party's perspective. And in some cases, again, getting homes below list price if they've been sitting on the market for some period of time. Those are all phenomenal things, and those are things that may not be available to you 3 to 6 months down the road. So if you're a home buyer who has pulled themselves out of the market, if you are a home buyer who is just entering the market and you're trying to get a sense of what it is that's going on, I would encourage you to get out and start shopping for your home as soon as possible to get a home under the most favorable circumstances possible. With all of that said, let's just break down one quick example of what it would look like to buy now while rates are still hovering around maybe 6.25, 6.375, versus waiting in hopes that rates might come down to, for example, 5.5%. All right, so let's use that median home sales price that I'd referenced earlier in the video at $625,000. And say that you're going to go out and you're going to find a home at that price point here in Bellingham. You're going to put 20% down on your purchase and you're going to lock in at an interest rate of 6.375%. Well, in that scenario, your monthly mortgage payment is going to be approximately $3,625 per month. Now, bear in mind that if you're doing that right in the midst of the market that we're in right now, this transition market that I'm talking about, you're writing that offer, you're having an inspection performed, you're retaining your financial contingency, everything that you would want to do when you're writing an offer on a home. If things come back on the inspection, perhaps you get a small seller credit to address those things, or they make some needed repairs, and you're moving into a home that's turnkey and ready to go. Versus, let's say that you decide to wait. We're going to wait till spring. We're going to wait till early summer. We think rates are going to come down further, and they probably will. But let's play that scenario out. Let's say rates get all the way down to 5.5%, which would be fantastic. But at that time, let's say that now that $625,000 home, instead of you being the only prospective buyer writing an offer, you're crafting an offer in competition of 5, 6, 7 competing offers. And in that scenario, let me tell you that you're very likely to waive your inspection, you're very likely to waive your financial contingency, and you're very likely, again, assuming that this is really a home that you want to pursue, you're very likely to include an escalation addendum with your offer. An escalation addendum simply says, we'd like to buy the house for X, but if there's a competing offer that beats our offer, we're willing to pay up to Y. So let's say that you're willing to go $50,000 over list price on this purchase, waive your inspection, and waive your financial contingency. If you don't understand inspections, financial contingencies, reach out. Would love to explain those to you in more detail. But you buy the home ultimately for a $675,000 purchase price. You put down the same 20%, and you get your 5.5% interest rate. Well, your monthly mortgage payment in that scenario is going to be $3,612, saving you $13 over purchasing the home now in that much more favorable environment. So this is just one example of how things could play out. As I shared earlier, I don't have that crystal ball. I can't make guarantees that this is the way the market's going to go, but based on the things that I'm seeing, the information that I'm reading, and the real-time evidence of rates falling as we speak, this is my prediction for 2024 here in the Bellingham market. I hope this has been helpful to you. Again, encourage you to reach out with any questions or concerns that you might have. Would love to help in any way that I can. And again, one last time, encourage you to like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you can keep up on all of the videos that we're releasing on this channel. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope it's been helpful to you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks so much.